Tech from Twilight Town.
Okay.
Yay, number 2! Here we go! We have Kenshin, the samurai guy, versus Rock Lee, the protector of the I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know. Like,
I don't think Rock Lee has enough to do with
Rock Lee is not a legal aid.
I've been attending conventions probably since 2001. A good friend of mine, he emailed me and said, hey, let's go to a convention. So we drove all the way down to Baltimore, Maryland for our first convention. And then that exploded after that.
So how many conventions do you think that you've been at right now?
Geez, well, I've been to Otakon probably 3 times. I've been to CN Anime and Animaritimes. I've been to Animaritimes 3 times. So probably about 8 or 9 conventions, I guess.
So what are you doing here this year?
This year I am helping out at Artist Alley, which is my favorite place at every convention.
Okay. Who's the most memorable person that you've met in your whole conventionisms?
Oh, that's a toughie. Probably the friends that I make. And I made a lot of really close friends by attending conventions. Like, I can't begin to describe it. So, that would be it.
All right.
There's no one person, just everybody in general, and the feeling you get when you go to a con is amazing. Valentine or L, and this is it for the year. You get to waltz around and say, guess who's the Bishonen of the year this year? Vincent! Or you can say L. So, think wisely, please vote. Voting is good for your health. Vincent! Vincent! Now, alright, quiet. No. If you think that Vincent would win, raise your hand. Come on.
Oh, win.
Okay, Vincent wins, guys.
Originally, before we started this convention, we were sitting going, as a club, what should we be doing? Like, we could do something fun as a club. We could go to a convention, except there were no conventions, except for Anime North in Toronto, and that was
well, there are some in Alberta, BC, but those are the less
the closest convention to us was Toronto.
That's right.
And it's like, or we could start our own.
I got into fandom a while ago, like 9 years ago or something like that, 8 years ago. Bit by people, I was sort of unwilling and a friend sort of dragged me into fandom by making me watch the show. I decided to do this panel because I have housemates who are not into anime at all, and so I'm constantly dealing with the contrast between the way I look at the world and the way I approach things versus the way they see things, and they make it very obvious how the outside world sees fandom and some of the misconceptions and stereotypes that they have about it, so I thought that would be an interesting thing to talk about.
You couldn't have gotten anime unless you knew people. Because it was passing around VHS in the scripts sometimes, like mailing them out. And
it was like taboo.
Yeah.
Fandom is definitely more accessible and it is becoming more socially acceptable to be a fan of anime, or even just to watch anime. It used to be if you watched anime, you were instantly sort of a strange geek thing, and you were really not normal, even just to watch it. But now it's like you can sort of watch it casually. There's still somewhat of a stereotype attached with it.
The stereotype's still around as much as...
Yeah. My housemate refers to this as the freak convention, the gathering of dorks, and all sorts of other things.
Well, I guess it's not as bad as the Star Trek convention, I suppose. And next year, what are your plans for a convention?
This year I'm graduating Mount Allison, as is a bunch of the original staff, so we're hoping that maybe depending on the way our lives go, we might be able to get back here for next year's convention, but we'll all be starting new jobs and new lives and new schools for some of us, so it's all up in the air. But we're leaving behind a core group of staffers who have staffed this year and some of them staffed last year, so they can handle things here.
Okay.
It'll still be a convention.
Well, thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Some boys like to flirt with every pretty girl they see. He's gone. Unpack all my stuff. Well, I can get enough. With a manga in my hand, I jump into my wonderland.
You saw that from Digi Charity.
Okay, yep. Okay. Okay.
I'm Moroku from Inuyasha and she's Sangha.
I'm Inuyasha.
Johnny the homicidal maniac.
Shinkenkage from a group called the Kenkages.
The ladies in the